Alaska's high-definition news leader. This is KTVA 11 News Nightcast.
Good evening, I'm Liz Raines. Tonight we continue our investigation into a local moving company several families accused of scamming them out of thousands. At the beginning of the month, KTVA exposed the business customers say isn't delivering. The Sandor family says they paid a moving company called Ability Moving and Storage $23,000 to move them from New York to Wasilla in June of last year. But after more than 6 months, the Sandors still didn't have their belongings. Our investigation prompted several other families to come forward with similar complaints. Those customers say Ability raised the price on them multiple times during the move, didn't pay its subcontractors, and then delivered goods weeks and months later, if even at all. Now, when we followed a paper trail all the way back to 1988, one of Ability's current owners, Geneva Dupuy, started Sea Express, another moving company. Sea Express became a familiar name in civil and small claims courts in the 90s, eventually filing for bankruptcy. Now, almost 30 years later, it's a different company, but Ability is still getting similar complaints. Tonight, Daniela Rivera reports in our third installment of KTVA's investigation into rogue movers.
It's been a long journey for the Sandor family.
And how much have you paid them so far?
$23,200.
And you don't have your stuff?
Nope.
And an even longer journey for their belongings.
These poor folks, they give everything they own and a lot of their or most of their money, and they're out. It's worse than burglary.
Rick Childers with Allison's Relocations has rescued multiple moves from Ability in the last few months, meaning those customers paid twice just to get their things delivered. Then he watched our report.
I talked to Lori Sandor, and she told me that they have a recently disabled daughter who is sleeping on the floor. That bugged me.
So did this. Texts we reported receiving from Ability.
Ability said, if you run this story, they may never get their stuff. That put me over the top.
Alaska Marine Lines has been holding the shipment at the Port of Anchorage, waiting for Ability to pay their bill. They agreed to release that shipment at no cost to the Sandors, so Allison's could deliver it for free.
It's huge.
Something that's never happened in Childers' 41 years in the moving industry.
I've never really been able to get an interline carrier like Alaska Marine Lines to waive charges. I was shocked, but very, very happily surprised.
A mix of emotions the Sandors felt too on delivery day.
It's a little nerve-wracking because I still want to see exactly what happened to our stuff in the past 6 months.
Allison's movers got to work on a delivery that's out of the norm, taking inventory on the back end of the move.
Ma.
What?
Like this table, not everything made it to Alaska in one piece.
Breakfast table.
Even newer items arrived damaged.
There's stains. The
arm is broken. It's coming off there. That ripped. It's ripped back.
It wasn't like that.
Nope.
No.
Then there's some things.
Ma, you might want these.
That just can't be replaced. Glass heirlooms from Spain, passed down to Lori by her mother, are finally home, safe and sound.
I'm like, oh, thank God, that they didn't break, because there was no way I can replace these, Being that my mom and dad both passed away, it means more to me now that I have my mom's stuff.
And that's exactly how they got the extra money out of us. We couldn't let the stuff go, and every time just more and more money. When you have your family heirlooms and things that can't be replaced, people are then willing to pay it.
Pete says their fight with Ability isn't over, but now their new Alaska life can begin.
You came through, Allison's came through, and here we are today.
In a place that finally feels like home. Daniela Rivera, KTVA 11 News.
The U.S. Department of Transportation is the agency that oversees moving companies, and Ability has been under investigation, according to a DOT letter we obtained. But Childers says the problem with that is it can be several months before the federal government revokes authority, and during that time, a lot of damage can be done to consumers. A man Anchorage police have been trying to find for weeks in connection with a second homicide this year appeared in court today.
Don't say make me look like I'm the that guy. I was defending my property in my house. They come over to my house starting shit.
Do you want to go on mute, sir?
I don't give a
All right, we'll put you on mute then.
Aaron Setchi made obscene gestures and used offensive language as he was arraigned on charges for multiple robberies. He's also charged with tampering with evidence in the January shooting death of 33-year-old Cortez Brown. Court documents say he disposed of the gun and the cartridge casings used to kill Brown. Witnesses say Brown showed up at the home on East 36th Avenue where his wife and another man were having a dispute over a relationship issue and began banging on the door. Witnesses told police Setchi told Brown to stand down, and when Brown didn't, Setchi fired through the door.
For him to come out with both of his middle fingers pointed at the judge and everyone in the courtroom, and for him to just say the rude things that he said to my uncle's wife and just to be extremely outraged, it was embarrassing, honestly, on his behalf.
Setchi scored as high risk on the state's new pretrial assessment tool. If he posts bail, the judge has ordered pretrial enforcement supervision, house arrest, and electronic monitoring. When an Anchorage pet owner reached out to us today with a word of warning about moose. She says her dogs were viciously attacked by a mama moose yesterday when she let them out without realizing a calf was in her yard. We want to warn you, this video you're about to see may be difficult to watch. Kim Mahosky says she left her Cocker Spaniel and Pit Bull into the yard without checking. When she heard them barking, she saw a mother moose charging into the yard over the fence, and it trampled the Cocker Spaniel. She took the dog to a vet who immediately did x-rays and surgery, saving the dog. She says Daisy is now safe at home, but she shared her story as a word of caution to everyone else. If you have videos or pictures to share with KTVA, you can go to our homepage and click on Share It. Well, not a bad day here in Anchorage. Let's check in with Zach over in the Weather Center to see what it's looking like.
Yeah, you know, it's a great day outside, but it was warm, wasn't too bad. Saw a little bit of snow, reminds you that it's winter. Things are going to change a little bit going forward. Look outside right now. Got low clouds there. Probably going to see some freezing fog tonight. Look at the dew point. It's high for this time of year. 23 degrees is the dew point. Current temperature at 26 degrees right now. Looking out across South Central, plenty of cloud cover. Temperatures in the 20s. If you want some warm temperatures, well, you just have to stick around a couple more days. Temperatures are going to warm up. Flow is going to switch out of the south as we go into this week. But I'll be back in a little while. I'll tell you about some snowfall we're looking to see in this next week also.
All right. Thanks, Zach. Well, he was told his wife was kidnapped. An Anchorage man who says he was scammed for everything walks us through what happened. Hear his story in his words when we come back.